calling this meeting of the Town of Silver City Council to order. Would you please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and welcome everybody. And we'd like to welcome our Police Chief Reynolds and thank him for being here tonight too. The next item on the agenda is changes to the agenda. Do any of the councilors want to make changes to the agenda? No changes. Next item is council comments. Councilor Cano.
Thank you, Mayor. First thing is, today I had the opportunity to attend the Grant County Prospectors Legislative Forum. I just would like to thank all the Grant County prospectors, including Pro Tem Bedison, for all the work that they put into that forum. It's to educate our legislators on some of the concerns and priorities that several entities in town have, but the rest of us were also invited to come and listen, and it's always a good thing to know what each organization, each municipality is working on for the next legislative session. So thank you, Councilor Bedison. I would also like to give thanks to Police Chief Milo Lambert and, this is going to sound weird just because, Fire Marshal Kyle Marshall Jr. They responded recently to, there was a meeting about the flyovers, and there were about 300 people trying to be in this room at the same time. So they came out and restored order, and they were just very, very professional in the handling of the public, as well as several officers from both the Grant County Sheriff's Department and the Silver City Police Department. So thank you to all of the people that were involved with that. I also attended the Grant County Chamber of Commerce dinner I think it was last weekend, where they honored several businesses and individuals for their work in the community, and it was just a great event. So I would urge anybody in the community that's interested in business stuff to be a part of that next year, to see what the Chamber of Commerce is working on. And the last thing is, I just wanted to congratulate Charmaine Waite and the board of the Silver City Main Street project for their Shop Small Saturday, which was really, really successful. There were so many people in town, and there were several business owners who let me know that their businesses had extra visitors on Saturday, and they're really pleased with that. So, thank you.
Councilor Ray.
Thank you, Mayor. I do have a few things to say. One of the things I want to say is that for the last month and a half or so, we have made a meeting with Mr. George Mesa and his son in regards to having the gospel mission situation. We talked about it, and there was a few of us, and Mr. Mesa, both Mesas were there, and the county was there, personnel, and it was discussed that maybe the gospel mission is to look for another place. And Mr. Mesa also said that he would be more likely to help, correct? That he would be more likely to help us do that. The one thing is that things like this don't happen overnight. And it'll be a while before anything is actually setting in concrete. I don't think the message, I enjoyed that comment, but that's just the reality of things. So hopefully that somewhere along the line we can accommodate everybody. And I've been there a couple of times very recently, and I have seen the people there bothering the customers there at the Jalisco Cafe. And I have seen them there at the parking lot. And the message told us that it was an everyday thing. So hopefully that people will try and understand this and see that we are trying to do something with both parties. Now, this comment that I'm going to make is going to concern the letter to the editor that the paper put down concerning some of the stuff that had been happening with the police department, and I don't like it that they blamed that the mayor, the council, for not doing anything on certain situations. When we take an oath to better the people, to help the people. Have we failed? Maybe we have failed. But if you're going to say something like that, make sure that you say something else about other entities, other government entities, and not just the council. Why are judges so lenient with people? Why do they let them go from the jail? Why are the lawyers doing that? And everything falls back on the police department. It's not the police department. It's your judicial system. It's wrong and needs to be corrected. Mr. Simon has all his right to say something about what's been happening. But then again, why don't you come and ask? Did you ask any one of us? I didn't get asked. Would I say something? Maybe so. But don't point fingers at anybody. And I think it was a very wrong thing that Mr. Seibel did. If you're gonna say something, make sure that you have a lot of facts behind it. Because there are some things that are not said. There are some things that are going to be kept quiet to protect other people. And I know we all take an oath. Also, maybe the city fathers need to take a closer look on department heads to see if they're all doing what's supposed to be done with them. And that includes the fire department, that includes the police department, that includes the water department. If not, maybe we can change it. Maybe we can say something to better the policies with them. I think that some people are in there too long, and we need something to be done. So do we have the knowledge to do it? Do we have the power to do it? I don't know. But we can always try. And sometimes we're going to cross people, we're going to make them get mad at us. But sometimes you have to understand that it's not just the department, because it all trickles down. And we need to protect our citizens. We need to help our citizens. And I know how I won't go there. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Amon Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to echo that. I want to thank Main Street not only for the Shop Small Day, which was a great deal of fun, but for the lighted Christmas parade and for the fabulous weather that they provided. That was the warmest, lightest Christmas parade I've ever experienced. And I have a second comment, and that is that I am planning to run again for District 2 Council position.
Thank you. Councilor Featherston.
Thank you, Mayor. I also want to thank Main Street for asking me to be a judge at the Lighted Christmas Parade. It was a lot of fun, but at the same time, it was kind of stressful because every single float, every single thing that went by was 5 stars. I mean, it was really difficult for us, but they made it easy by having 3 judges, and they were just taking the judging slips and running away with them. So nobody knew what the other judge had done, and I was in the middle. I had no idea what the other 2 were doing. So I want to thank them for that, and I want to thank them for the Shop Small. I got some great gifts, almost done with shopping, and it was done locally. So that was a pleasure. Thank you, Councilor Cano, for your kind comments regarding prospectors and grant and the legislative forum we had today. It was really interesting. Unfortunately, I was back and forth with a number of other duties and a little slight issue at home with some plumbing. But everything's back to normal at my house, and we're going forward on some of the other things I was taking care of. I do want to mention to everyone that Grant County Day, the Grant County Day that the Prospectors holds, is scheduled to be on Wednesday, January 24th. So, the meeting will be taking place on Tuesday, January 23rd, which is a council meeting date, so just something to think about for the future. So we have a pre-meeting, so that all the folks that come up from Grant County that want to help, all of the entities in Grant County, the municipalities, the county, the different agencies, whatever their needs are, to be there to help, go up and advocate for this. And so we hope that as many people as possible can be up there. We have some great suggestions by our Senator Morales about what he'd like to see, and the Prospectors have taken note. So we hope to have, and hopefully not speaking out of term, it was already said publicly, Mariachi Plata there, because that's from Western. Also, someone from the community to sing the national anthem, and the Silver Stompers, apparently, or some of the things that he would like to see. And then he already mentioned that the Vietnam Color Guard, that he would, as always, he would hope that you would be up to do that, Councilor Ray. And I just want to mention, I want to thank Councilor Ray for being in the Color Guard that marched all the way down, So thank you for participating, because we did know that we did to make sure that people in the area around the Toad, where we were situated as judges, knew that Councilor Ray was in that group. And lastly, I wanted to just mention that I was unable to attend the Chamber of Commerce event because I was at the National League of Cities, which is why we had changed the date of the last town council meeting. It's also the reason I wasn't here to hear the comments and to be part of what was going with the flyovers. So I just wanted to make sure folks knew that I was here in spirit, and I wish that I could have been here physically to be a part of all of that. And I want to congratulate all of the folks that were awardees of the different categories that they had, and congratulations to all of them. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Any other comments from the council? Councilor Ray?
Thank you, we appreciate that. Next year, we're going to ask for a float.
And I would be remiss if I didn't add my thank you to all of the volunteers in Silver City. We've had some great events here recently. The Chamber of Commerce event, the Shops Small Business event, the Lighted Christmas Parade. I want to thank all of those who participated in the Gospel Mission, serving dinners during Thanksgiving. We have literally thousands of people in our community that make this community work. That's really what it's all about. And I also want to announce that I will be a candidate for mayor for a second term this coming year. Okay, the next item on the agenda is approval of minutes of the November 13, 2017 regular meeting. Do I hear a motion?
Mr. Mayor.
Councilwoman Smith?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move to approve the minutes of the regular council meeting of the town of Silver City of November 13th, 2017.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mr. Mayor, I second the motion as stated.
Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is public input, and there was none, so we'll move on to the next item, reports. Did you come up with anything after we talked, Mr. Brown? Okay, so no reports. Councilor Kano?
I move for the council to go into executive session pursuant to section 10-15-1H 7 of the state's Open Meetings Act to meet with the town attorney pertaining to threatened or pending litigation in which the public body is or may become a participant.
Thank you. Do I hear a second?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilor Ray?
second that is read.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Roll call, please, Ann.
Councilor Kano?
Aye.
Councilor Ray?
Aye.
Councilor Amos Smith?
Aye.
Councilor Medicine?
Aye.
Motion made by Councilor Kano and seconded by Councilor Ray, passes unanimously. After a 5-minute, to go into executive session. After a 5-minute recess, the council will convene in the conference room for executive session. The council is back in open session. No matters other than those matters included in the motion to go into executive session were discussed. At this time, I will ask the council members for their affirmation of that statement. Ann, roll call, please.
Councilor Kano?
Aye. So there's Tony, aye. Okay.
Councilor Ray?
Aye.
Councilor Amos Smith?
Aye.
Councilor Medicine?
Aye.
The vote was unanimous in the affirmative. The next item,
Mr. Mayor, for a short recess.
okay, we're
Very short one.
for a short recess.
Mr. Mayor, I second.
Okay, motion and second, in favor for a short recess, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Okay, we'll take a very short recess. I call our meeting back to order. The next item requiring action will be under unfinished business and is the approval/disapproval of ordinance number 1264, an ordinance amending Chapter 48, Town Property, Article 2, Sale, Lease, or Exchange, Sections 48-22, 48-24, 48-26, and 48-27 of the Town of Silver City Municipal Code. Do I hear a motion?
Mr. Mayor?
Councilor Amos Smith?
Hold on a second, let me get my thing up here. I move to approve ordinance number 1264, an ordinance amending Chapter 48, Town Property, Article 2, Sale, Lease, or Exchange, Sections 48-22, 48-24, 48-26, and 48-27 of the Town of Silver City Municipal Code.
We have a motion, is there a second?
Mr. Mayor, I second the motion as stated.
We have a second. Any questions from the council?
Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Brown? Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Brown, do you have any comments to make about this?
I just we need to talk about it.
The only...
Reminder.
This is just a reminder of the process for sale and the sale and lease of city-owned property. It raises the levels that require an ordinance to be passed, because the original ordinance was passed quite some time ago, and so the dollar amounts were burdensome, very burdensome to bring as an ordinance. For instance, like the gas station, when we bought the gas station, small piece of property that's being leased, we couldn't do all of that. Oh, and then designates the any additional protections to any town-owned trail that I designate
Right.
as essential property, so it cannot be sold.
Thank you, that's actually pretty important provision. So,
Councilor Bedison, now, did you have any?
I just wanted to say thank you, because that's also what I wanted to make sure that the public remembered, that this allows you to deem property essential
Yeah.
for trails, and then it doesn't get sold. So
Yes, as we acquire, because I know it's been a priority of this council and past councils, to acquire property for trail system. And as that does happen, then we will deem it essential, and no one can apply to purchase that property.
Thank you, Mr. Brown, and thank you, Mayor.
Any other discussion or comments?
I do have one other comment, and that is just to remind everyone that this ordinance, this proposed ordinance, still allows the council to make the final decision. So if for some reason we decide that a lease or something is not in the best interest of the town, that we can still say we don't like it because it doesn't fit.
Yes, even if it falls under the limits, you still have that authority.
Right. So thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Any other discussion? We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments from the general public? Roll call, please, Ann.
Councilor Dennison.
Aye.
Councilor Amon Smith.
Aye.
Councilor Ray.
Aye.
Councilor Kano.
Motion carries unanimously. Next item is under new business. Item 11A is the approval/disapproval of resolution number 2017-28 for the regular municipal election to be held on March the 6th, 2018. Ms. Mackey?
Yes, Mayor and Councilors, I'm requesting your approval of this resolution to call our next regular municipal election to be held on March 6th, 2018. It'll be for, elective offices for the mayor, for the councilor position in District 2, the councilor position in District 4, and municipal judge. The mayor and councilor positions have 2-year terms, and the municipal judge has a 4-year term. There'll be one polling place on Election Day. That's at the Voting Convenience Center, which is our Silver City Women's Club. So that'll be the polling place on Election Day. Prior to that, people can start voting absentee on January 30th. They can start voting early, do the early voting on February 14th, and that's with the vote tabulator machine at City Hall. So that absentee and early voting is conducted until March 2nd. The ballots will be counted by the same vote tabulator machines that we've used in the past, the Dominion vote tabulators. Persons that wish to vote may register with the county clerk by February 6th. Also, if you're already registered but you've changed your address or your name, you need to get with the county clerk before February 6th to update your voter registration. All declarations of candidacy will be filed in my office only on January 9th between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. That's the only day anybody can file. If they miss that date, the next date would be for a write-in candidate, and that's a week later on January 16th from 8 to 5. The candidate packets will be available in my office tomorrow, and I'll put them on the town's website this week also. Do you have any questions?
Okay, do I hear a motion? Councilor Ray?
Mr. Mayor, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move to approve of resolution number 2017-28, excuse me, for the regular municipal election to be held on March 6th, 2018.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Mayor, I'll second the motion. It's given.
Thank you. We have a second. Any discussion? Councilor Amon Smith? All in favor of the motion? Roll call, please, Ann.
Councilor Kano.
Aye.
Councilor Ray.
Aye.
Councilor Amon Smith. Aye. Councilor Dennison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Next item requiring action is 11B, the approval/disapproval of resolution number 2017-29, adopting recount/recheck cost for the regular municipal election to be held on March the 6th, 2018. Ms. Mackey?
Yes, Mayor and Councilors, I'm asking for your approval of this resolution. These are estimated recount and recheck costs for the upcoming election. Do you have any questions?
Okay, do I hear a motion? Councilor Bedison?
Thank you, Mayor. I move to approve of resolution number 2017-29, adopting recount/recheck costs for the regular municipal election to be held on March 6, 2018.
Have a motion, do I hear a second?
Mr. Mayor, I second that motion, Mr. Latham.
Councilman Smith, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilor Edison?
Aye.
Councilor Amy Smith? Aye. Councilor Ray?
Aye.
Councilor Kano?
Motion carries unanimously. The next item under new business is 11C, appointment to the Recycling Advisory Committee. The town received one application from Mrs. Arlen Lazary. The chair of the Recycling Advisory Committee recommends her appointment. If there are no objections from the council, I would like to appoint her to the committee.
No objection.
There being no objections, I hereby appoint Ms. Arlen Lazary to the Recycling Advisory Committee. The next item, 11D, under new business, is the approval/disapproval to cancel the regular council meeting scheduled for December 26, 2017. December 26, 2017 is the day after Christmas. It is also a town holiday, and it's also a day when a lot of people are traveling back and forth home. Are there any questions? Do I hear a motion? Councilor Kano?
I move to approve of canceling the regular council meeting scheduled for December 26, 2017.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mr. Mayor, I approve that. I'll second that.
Motion second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. The council meeting scheduled for December 26, 2017 is canceled. This concludes the business of the town of Silver City. Do I hear a motion?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilor Ray?
I move to pay.
We have a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I second that motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We are adjourned.